part of us having an opportunity to share with you specifically about Dr. Martin Luther King. He was an inspiration to me. He was an inspiration to those that I know. And I want to share with you specifically, the impact that he's had on my life and on the lives of those that I am connected to. And I can remember as far back in 1970s, specifically conversations that my father would have with me and with my brothers about specifically what Dr. King was able to do. And he was able to, inspire us to do even much more than what he had done. And he had been, a committed person to making a difference in the lives of those that in some cases were, I would call, handcuffed or were hindered from moving forward with specifically what they had been called to do or what they had been tasked to do. So it takes a person, and it takes a person with leadership courage. It takes a person who is willing to be bold, and it takes a person who's willing to sacrifice themselves in order for them to make a difference in the lives of the other people that they are called to serve. And I want to encourage you that if you're going to be successful with what you have been called to do, you must have the leadership courage. You must have the boldness to move forward, just as Dr. King has done for us. It is a commitment, and that's what he was. He was committed to making a difference in the lives of the individuals that he was connected to, individuals that he didn't even know. And we cannot move in a mode of being selfish, but we have to move in a mode of being unselfish as it relates to our fellow man. No matter what their color, no matter what their creed, no matter what their religious beliefs are, we must be willing to make sure that we can give everyone a seat at the table. And not only a seat at the table, but also a voice at the table. And not only a voice at the table, a voice at the table that is able to be respected. We have differences of opinion, and Dr. King was a great negotiator. And I watched many of the films and the movies about him, and to watch how he was willing to go into the White House and go into boardrooms and go into city hall chambers and be willing to negotiate with people, even though there were differences. And that's what we must understand, that there are differences that we have. We have differences because of where we are and who we are and where we were born and who our parents were. We all have differences, but what I like about Dr. King is that he was willing to work past the differences and find those things where there was we were common ground. And that's what we must be willing to do in our lifetime. We must be able to work with individuals who may be different from us, but have a passion about their difference, but have a willingness to compromise. And I'm not talking about compromise or cower down from your position, but we're willing to do something for the entire community, the entire human race. So I want to encourage you as we celebrate Dr. King and as we celebrate his life, his legacy, and specifically what he has done for each one of us. Well, no matter what your creed, no matter what your color is, no matter what your religious beliefs are, he was able to negotiate. He was able to come to the table and have a voice at the table and have a respected voice at the table in order for him to be able to open doors for us. So Dr. King, in my mind, was a person who was willing to move forward even when there were differences. And that's what I want to encourage us today to do, is that even though we're different, even though we're Democrats, even though we're Republican, even though we're African American, even though we're Caucasian or Native American or Asian American or Hispanic American, we have differences. But the key thing is, are we willing to come to the table and respect the voices of those who are at the table with us? And if we can do that, I'm here to say to you that America can be great when we're able to come to the table and respect the voices of those who are here with us. This country is a place where we must be willing to work with people and accept people where they are. And yes, there are differences. Yes, there are challenges, but can we and will we make the unselfish choice of being willing to bridge the gap and bring people together and bring them across the bridges of life that they may be able to move into a place of being very productive and adding value to their community. But it takes us all having a willingness to work together in order to make that work. And that's what Dr. King was doing. He was willing to come across the aisle. He was willing to break down barriers. He was willing to work with whoever wanted to come to the table and work. And that's what we must be willing to do. We must be willing to come to the table and work. Stop all of the talking, stop all of the rhetoric, stop all of the partisanship. We must be willing to come to the table and work out from the differences that we have and work from a point of commonality and work to the point where we're able to transform and to change the communities in which we are called to serve in. God bless you. God keep you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share with you about Dr. Martin Luther King and what he means to me. Thank you very much.